I finished the season shooting like 20-something% my rookie year from behind the three-point line, right?
George gets the screen from Zoo. Late in the clock.
The Clippers season is going to come to an end tonight. The Indiana Pacers in round 2. Disappointing end of their season. George thought he had some contact.
Was he deserving of $200+ million? No, not from the performance he had in the bubble this postseason and the history that he's had in previous postseasons.
A player once seen as the next big thing, shining as bright as a star in the basketball galaxy, but whose journey has been marked by injuries, setbacks, and redemption. From rising to stardom in Indiana to facing struggles and triumphs with the Thunder and Clippers, and now dealing with all the drama this year with the Sixers. Paul George's career has been a roller coaster like no other, with many cultures incorporating the motif of a fallen star as a symbol of hope, wishes, and the fleeting nature of life. What Paul George's career represents is a star of hope that never realized their potential and now is running out of time to do so.
Ball game.
Paul George was born on May 2, 1990, in Palmdale, California, a place where hoop dreams aren't exactly handed to you. He wasn't one of those kids who started dunking in middle school or had scouts drooling over him in his freshman year. Nah, Paul was a late bloomer. In fact, he didn't even make the varsity team until his junior year of high school. But once he got his shot, oh man, he made the most of it. Paul George started turning heads at Knight High School, where he showed flashes of the two-way dominance we'd later see in the NBA. But even then, he wasn't some five-star recruit. He wasn't going to Duke or Kentucky. Instead, he ended up at Fresno State, a mid-major school where he really put in the work to get noticed. At Fresno State, Paul George started showing the world what he was capable of. He was this lanky, athletic forward who could shoot, defend, and dunk on anybody. By his sophomore year, NBA scouts were like, wait a minute, this guy is special. And in 2010, the Indiana Pacers took him with the 10th overall pick in the NBA draft. From there, it didn't take long for Paul George to put the league on notice. Now, let's talk about his rise to stardom. With the Pacers, Paul George went from being a solid rookie to one of the best young players in the league. By his third season, he was leading Indiana to the Eastern Conference Finals twice and going toe-to-toe with LeBron James and the Miami Heat. PG was the ultimate two-way player. He was locking down stars on defense and dropping 20 a night on offense. He even won the NBA's Most Improved Player award in 2013. Dude was on track to become one of the greatest players of his generation. Y'all remember that dunk on Birdman in the playoffs? Sheesh! That was the moment when everyone was like, yeah, Paul George is him. But then, the unthinkable happened. In 2014, during a Team USA scrimmage, Paul George suffered one of the most gruesome injuries in NBA history. He fractured his leg so badly that there were questions about whether he'd ever play again. It was heartbreaking, man. PG went from being one of the brightest young stars in the league to facing one of the toughest roads to recovery. But here's the thing about Paul George. He's a fighter. He came back stronger, averaging over 23 points per game the following season. And while his time in Indiana eventually came to an end, PG showed the world that he wasn't done yet. In 2017, Paul George was traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder, teaming up with Russell Westbrook. And let me tell you, PG had one of his best seasons ever in OKC. In 2018-19, he was an MVP finalist, averaging 28 points, 8 rebounds, and leading the league in steals. But the Thunder flamed out in the playoffs, and just like that, his time in OKC was over. Then came the blockbuster trade to the Clippers. Paul George teamed up with Kawhi Leonard, and everyone thought this was it. This was the duo that would bring a championship to LA. And while there have been flashes of brilliance, like the Clippers' run to the Western Conference Finals in 2021, injuries have once again been a constant issue for PG. The Playoff P nickname became a meme after some rough playoff performances, and the pressure to deliver a championship has only grown heavier. Now, in 2024, Paul George finds himself with the Philadelphia 76ers after a shocking offseason trade. Everyone thought teaming up with Joel Embiid would be a fresh start for PG, a chance to finally win that elusive ring. But let's be real, things haven't gone smoothly. The Sixers are dealing with chemistry issues, and Paul George has been battling nagging injuries again. It feels like the same story, just with a different uniform. There's also the pressure of playing in Philly, man. This city doesn't mess around. They expect results, and when the team underperforms, the fans and media let you hear it. PG has shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency has been a problem, and the Sixers are stuck at the bottom of the Eastern Conference now. People are starting to ask, is Paul George still that guy? Or has he ever been that guy? Was he ever a star? Or is he just a star never meant to shine? Or maybe time is just running out and the shine from this superstar is finally fading away. Only time will tell.